A gentleman at its core is a person who exemplifies qualities such as integrity, respect, kindness, and humility in both words and actions. The term gentleman often evokes an image of a well-dressed man with good manners. But the true essence of a gentleman goes much deeper than appearance or outward displays of civility. A gentleman is someone who holds himself to high standards, not to gain approval or admiration, but because he believes in living a life of principle and morality. At the heart of a gentleman's character is integrity. Integrity is the foundation upon which all other virtues are built. A gentleman is someone who does the right thing, even when no one is looking. His actions are guided by honesty, transparency, and fairness, and he strives to be consistent in his principles, no matter the circumstances. Integrity means that a gentleman does not compromise his values for personal gain or to appease others. It is the quiet, steadfast commitment to doing what is morally right, regardless of how difficult or inconvenient it may be. This quality is what distinguishes a true gentleman from someone who merely follows societal norms. Respect is another key trait of a gentleman. Respect for others is a fundamental principle that a gentleman upholds in all situations. He understands the value of treating others with dignity, regardless of their background, beliefs, or status. A gentleman listens more than he speaks, values differing perspectives, and treats others with courtesy and consideration. He is mindful of how his words and actions affect those around him, and seeks to create an environment where everyone feels valued. The respect a gentleman shows is not limited to other people, but also extends to himself. He takes care of his own well-being, health, and emotional state, knowing that by respecting himself, he can better contribute to the world around him. Humility is also an essential characteristic of a true gentleman. While a gentleman may possess skills, achievements, or attributes that set him apart from others, he does not flaunt them or seek to elevate himself above others. He understands that true greatness is not measured by outward success, but by the way he treats people. A gentleman's humility is shown in his willingness to learn from others, to admit when he is wrong, and to remain grounded despite his successes. He does not seek to be the center of attention, but instead quietly goes about his work, letting his actions speak for themselves. A gentleman also embodies kindness. Kindness is the ability to show compassion and understanding toward others, whether they are strangers or loved ones. A true gentleman does not view kindness as a weakness, but rather as a strength. He offers help without expecting anything in return, and is always ready to lend a hand or a listening ear. His kindness extends beyond the immediate circle of family and friends. It includes strangers and those in need, regardless of their circumstances. A gentleman recognizes that everyone is facing their own struggles, and he strives to ease the burden of others whenever he can. Finally, a gentleman understands the importance of self-discipline and responsibility. He takes ownership of his actions and decisions, understanding that his choices have consequences. He is not swayed by impulsive desires or momentary emotions, but is guided by a sense of purpose and accountability. A gentleman holds himself to high standards, not to impress others, but because he believes that living a life of responsibility is integral to his growth and success. In conclusion, being a gentleman is not about external appearances or superficial qualities. It is about cultivating an inner strength that comes from integrity, respect, humility, kindness, and self-discipline. These are the values that define a true gentleman, someone who leads by example, treats others with decency, and lives with purpose and integrity. A gentleman is someone who, in his quiet confidence, enriches the lives of those around him and leaves a lasting positive impact on the world. Solitude is often viewed in a negative light in today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world. People tend to associate being alone with loneliness or isolation, something to be avoided at all costs. However, solitude, when embraced fully and with purpose, can be a powerful and transformative force. It offers individuals the opportunity to connect with themselves, engage in self-reflection, and grow in ways that are not possible when surrounded by distractions or external pressures. The power of solitude lies in its ability to foster personal growth, clarity of thought, and a deeper understanding of one's true self. One of the most profound benefits of solitude is the space it provides for self-reflection. In the absence of external voices and opinions, we are given the opportunity to look inward, to examine our thoughts, feelings, and actions. This time alone allows us to connect with our innermost desires, motivations, and fears. Solitude becomes a mirror, reflecting back to us the truths about who we really are without the influence of societal expectations or the need to conform to others' opinions. It is in this quiet space that we can evaluate our life's direction, our values, and what truly matters to us. Through this self-reflection, we gain the clarity to make better decisions, live more intentionally, and pursue our goals with purpose. Additionally, solitude nurtures creativity and innovation. When we are not constantly surrounded by noise, opinions, or distractions, our minds are free to roam, to explore new ideas, and to think deeply. The act of being alone allows us to focus without interruption, giving birth to fresh perspectives and creative solutions. Many of history's greatest thinkers, writers, and artists have attributed their most profound work to the time they spent in solitude. It is often during periods of solitude that new ideas are born, as our minds are given the freedom to wander and make connections that may not have been possible in a crowded or noisy environment. Solitude also teaches self-reliance and independence. When we are alone, we are forced to rely on ourselves for comfort, direction, and companionship. This process helps us build resilience and emotional strength. Instead of seeking validation or support from others, we learn to be our own source of comfort and encouragement. In solitude, we discover our own inner strength, learning how to face challenges, solve problems, and make decisions on our own. This independence fosters a sense of self-sufficiency and empowerment, which is vital for personal growth and well-being. In solitude, we also develop a deeper appreciation for the present moment. Without the constant rush of daily life or the pressure of external expectations, we are able to fully experience the world around us. We notice the small details, the sound of the wind, the rhythm of our breath, the beauty in simple moments. Solitude allows us to slow down and be present, cultivating mindfulness and a sense of peace that is often lost in the noise of our busy lives. Furthermore, solitude offers a unique opportunity to reconnect with our purpose and values. In the quiet of being alone, we can examine our life's trajectory and ask ourselves important questions. Are we living authentically? Are we aligning our actions with our values? Are we pursuing the right goals? Solitude provides a space for these important inquiries, helping us reconnect with our deeper sense of purpose and align our lives with what truly matters. Ultimately, the power of solitude is transformative. It is not about isolation or loneliness, but about gaining the time and space necessary for self-discovery, creativity, independence, and reflection. In a world that often values constant connection and external validation, solitude offers a rare opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more attuned to our true selves. It is in the silence and solitude that we often find our greatest strength, clarity, and purpose. Embracing solitude is not just an act of being alone, it is an act of truly connecting with who we are and what we are capable of achieving. Self-trust and independence are foundational elements for leading a fulfilling and authentic life. In a world that is often filled with external noise, opinions, advice, and expectations, it can be challenging to stay true to ourselves and make decisions based on our own values and instincts. However, when we develop self-trust and independence, we give ourselves the freedom to navigate life with confidence and clarity, without constantly relying on others to guide our path. Self-trust begins with believing in our own abilities, judgment, and intuition. It is the conviction that we are capable of making decisions that are in alignment with our best interests, even when those decisions may not be popular or easy. At its core, self-trust means that we rely on our own understanding of who we are, what we want, and where we want to go in life. It is the confidence to listen to our inner voice, even when the world around us is filled with contradictory opinions and advice. This trust is built over time through experience, by reflecting on our past decisions, learning from them, and gradually strengthening our understanding of what works for us and what doesn't. When we trust ourselves, we are less likely to be swayed by the judgments or expectations of others. In a world where peer pressure, social media, and societal norms can create immense pressure to conform, self-trust acts as a shield. allowing us to remain grounded in our own beliefs and desires. It empowers us to make decisions that feel right for us, not because others think it's the best choice, but because we know deep down it is. This self-assurance enables us to take risks and pursue opportunities that align with our authentic self, rather than following the path that is dictated by outside influences. Independence, on the other hand, is the ability to stand on our own 2 feet emotionally, mentally, and physically. Independence does not mean rejecting the support of others, but rather cultivating the ability to meet our own needs, handle our own problems, and make choices that serve our personal growth. When we are independent, we are not dependent on others for validation, happiness, or success. We are capable of navigating life on our own terms, taking responsibility for our actions, and charting our own course. This independence fosters a sense of empowerment, as it reminds us that we are the architects of our own lives. Independence also involves recognizing our own strength. It is about understanding that we are not helpless or reliant on external sources to feel whole. While relationships, guidance, and support from others can be valuable, independence teaches us that we have the capacity to solve problems, overcome challenges, and thrive without depending on others to constantly prop us up. It is about developing resilience, the ability to face adversity and setbacks with determination and grace, knowing that we are capable of getting through difficult times. Another vital aspect of self-trust and independence is the ability to embrace our individuality. It is about celebrating the unique qualities that make us who we are, without feeling the need to fit into someone else's mold or measure up to an idealized standard. When we trust ourselves and embrace our independence, we are more comfortable in our own skin. We no longer seek constant approval or external validation because we know our worth is inherent, not dependent on the opinions of others. Moreover, self-trust and independence help us build a deeper connection with our true desires and goals. When we are not constantly seeking approval or trying to meet the expectations of others, we become more in tune with what truly matters to us. We are free to explore our passions, pursue our dreams, and live authentically. Independence creates the space for us to listen to our inner voice and align our actions with our true desires, without feeling obligated to follow the path others may expect us to take. In conclusion, self-trust and independence are not just about being self-reliant, they are about cultivating a deep sense of belief in ourselves and our abilities. When we trust ourselves, we gain the confidence to navigate life on our own terms, make decisions that serve our personal growth, and embrace our individuality. These qualities empower us to live a life that is true to who we are, free from the need for constant validation or external approval. Through self-trust and independence, we create the foundation for a life of fulfillment, resilience, and authenticity. In a world that often places immense value on popularity and the number of connections one has, it's easy to overlook the deeper meaning of true relationships. Social media and the pressures of modern life frequently equate success with the number of friends, followers, or acquaintances one can amass. However, the real quality of relationships is not measured by the quantity of people we know, but by the depth, authenticity, and mutual respect shared in those connections. Emphasizing quality over quantity in relationships means fostering connections that are genuine, meaningful, and supportive, rather than collecting numerous superficial ones. A relationship, whether it's with a friend, family member, or partner, is about emotional connection and shared understanding. True relationships are built on trust, empathy, and mutual support. The people who stand by us during challenging times, who offer honest feedback, and who make us feel heard and valued are the ones who matter most. These meaningful relationships provide a foundation of emotional security, growth, and happiness. They allow us to be our true selves without fear of judgment and encourage us to become better versions of ourselves. In contrast, having many acquaintances or superficial friendships may bring a sense of validation, but they often lack the depth needed for true personal growth and fulfillment. Quality relationships are those in which both parties invest time, effort, and care into one another. These relationships thrive on communication and understanding, where both individuals are willing to put in the emotional labor necessary to nurture and maintain the bond. Unlike superficial connections that may be based on convenience or shared interests, quality relationships are often grounded in shared values, experiences, and emotional closeness. These relationships allow for vulnerability, where both individuals feel safe enough to share their authentic selves without fear of rejection. The deeper the bond, the more fulfilling and lasting the relationship becomes. In addition, the quality of a relationship often dictates how we feel about ourselves. Healthy relationships in which there is mutual respect and understanding encourage personal growth and self-improvement. They create an environment in which we feel loved, supported, and encouraged to pursue our goals and dreams. On the other hand, relationships based on quantity, such as those formed out of social obligation or surface-level connections, rarely provide the emotional depth needed for personal fulfillment. Superficial relationships can leave us feeling isolated or misunderstood, as they may not offer the level of emotional connection or support required to thrive. Furthermore, quality relationships often allow for more authenticity. When we prioritize quality over quantity, we give ourselves the freedom to be selective in who we allow into our lives. We invest in people who truly understand us, who challenge us to grow, and who accept us for who we are. These people bring out the best in us, providing encouragement, support, and constructive criticism when needed. By cultivating fewer but deeper relationships, we are not overwhelmed by a large social circle or stretched thin by the demands of many. Instead, we can focus on nurturing those relationships that truly contribute to our happiness and well-being. It's important to remember that quality relationships don't necessarily mean perfection or avoiding conflict. All relationships require effort, compromise, and occasional disagreements. What sets quality relationships apart is the willingness of both parties to work through challenges together, to communicate openly, and to offer unconditional support when needed. These relationships are built on a foundation of trust, where both individuals are committed to the long-term growth and success of the bond. In conclusion, the emphasis on quality over quantity in relationships is about prioritizing depth, authenticity, and mutual respect over the sheer number of people we know. It's about investing in connections that nurture our emotional and mental well-being, allowing us to grow, thrive, and be our true selves. While the number of friends or acquaintances we have may fluctuate over time, the value of those who stand by us with unwavering support and love remains constant. Ultimately, the relationships that matter most are not the ones that are numerous, but those that are genuine and built on a foundation of mutual care and understanding.